So let's start by making a simple premise. Border security is national security. So Biden, even CBS News did a poll that says 68% of people do not like how Biden is handling the U.S. border, the southern border. What's to like? Over 8 million people in 3 years. Almost 800,000 in 3 months from October, November, and December. Trump's high year was 800,000. And all of these asylum seekers coming up through Central America, escorted by the cartels, giving pass through countries by Mexico to pass through their country, are invasion forces. But no, they're just asylum seekers. Well, asylum is because you're under threat of being killed in your country. They have a big sign in front of the last one that says, "Save us from poverty." That's not what an asylum's for. So when they get here, Biden has been using the parole in asylum seeking, that you can grant them immediate access and you can let them in while you wait and verify. And that is for like people who worked with us in Afghanistan, and they have military people saying, yes, they were good people, they helped us, we need to save them because they're going to get killed there. Biden's extended that to everybody, anybody and everybody. And those caravans coming up are from NGOs, non-government organizations, Democrat operatives who are running them at the border. And that's what they started under Trump with that, the first big caravan. It was 1,700 people. Now the latest one is 15,000 people. And Biden is just now willing to talk. Just let's talk about national security with the Republicans. The House Republicans passed a bill in May that would secure our borders again. Schumer sat on it, wouldn't do anything with it. Now, CBS News does a poll, 68% of the public do not like what he's doing. Biden ignores the public. Oh, but he's a defender of democracy. So he ignores that. And the idiots in the Senate, the Republicans in the Senate, are negotiating with him because they need more money for Ukraine. So we're predicating national security on giving more money to Ukraine. And understand that the more money we're giving to them, we've given them military stuff too slowly, Joe, and we've given them money. And a bunch more of this $60 billion they want to send, you know what it's paying for? It's paying for their government salaries and their retirement salaries. We're basically funding their government. And if we didn't give that money, would they stop fighting? No, they wouldn't. And if they do, then they deserve to lose. But we're holding up our national security to send more money to Ukraine. And the Republicans in the Senate ought to be ashamed of themselves that they're negotiating away our national security. It's as simple as that. And why don't the idiots in the House start getting on every channel they can? And why doesn't the Republican, National Committee start running ads showing that? Our country is under attack. We've been invaded by over 8 million people. We don't know who they are, where they're from. We've had, they caught 5,000 Chinese coming across, single men, military age, and they paroled them into the country. This is treason. This is traitorous stuff. And Joe has the cojones to stand up in his first campaign speech and says, Trump, he's a danger to our democracy. I can't believe that you people are falling for this crap. The very first thing we need to do is close down the border. Oh, well, we need pathways. No, we don't need anything else. You already got 8 million in here. We don't know who they are. No one else comes in. Close it off unless they've been doing it the right way. They're staying in their own country waiting to be vetted and allowed in. But everybody else, close the damn border. Mike Johnson, I know you took 60 down there the other day. That was a nice, and I know that the Border Patrol were ordered to open more places so they weren't flooded in one place so it'll look good, Nothing looks good about this. This is national security. And the idiots in the Senate are negotiating our national security to give more money to Ukraine. The House passed a bill on funding Israel. Schumer hasn't heard it. They passed a bill back in May to secure our border. Schumer wouldn't hear it. Wouldn't bring it up. No votes. Nope. We're going to wait. So it's okay with Schumer and the Democrats that more and more invasion force comes in. I'm not calling them immigrants. I'm not calling them asylum seekers because we don't know what they are. But we do know we've had a huge number, more than ever, actually stopped and returned who were on the list, on the terrorist watch list, and from countries who hate us. Senegal now, and all these African countries. Nigeria, by the way, is slaughtering Christians. That's not on any news channels, right? They're slaughtering Christians, 170 the other day during the Christmas, they have a 2-week celebration. Nigeria is supposed to be 50% Muslim, 50% Christian, but they're slaughtering Christians there. No one's talking about it. Because this is part of the intifada that you idiot college students are walking around calling for, and that Iran has been pushing in the Middle East. And again, once again, national security, what's Joe doing with Iran? Well, if they cross this line, maybe. How many of our soldiers need to die, before you attack them? And you're just shooting down rockets from the Houthis in Yemen, who are supported by Iran. And you need to go into Iran, blow up their navy like Reagan did, and guess what? Iran was quiet for a lot of years after that. But Iran's not going to be quiet now because they see we have a feckless, idiotic, senile old man in charge of our border, and we got a bunch of politicians in Washington more concerned about negotiating our national security than securing our damn border. In case you haven't noticed, I'm real passionate about this. I am pissed off that Mike Johnson, instead of taking 60 down there, he should adjourn the House until the border's secure and then suggest that all the congressmen who care about our country and national security go down to the southern border and help Border Patrol stop these releases. And where is the federal courts telling Biden you can't do this? Because parole is not supposed to be used in massive numbers. It's an individual case by case. And for most of these, they don't have any documentation. They come in and they say, my name's John Wang. I'm from China. I'm fleeing persecution. Oh, okay, where do you want to go? And they ship them to their city of choice. And the last thing I want to say on this, the Democrats blaming Abbott. He's sending these people to our sanctuary states and cities. First off, you shouldn't be a sanctuary state and city. You should, recognize federal law as you're breaking it. And secondly, Biden sent more to the state of New York than Abbott has. But now all these guys are talking about it. We need more money so we can house them and feed them and put them in shelters. And why? My grandparents came here at the turn of the 19th century. They had to have a sponsor. Why aren't these guys sponsored? Oh, we're sponsoring them. You got to get more money from us. That's why they wanted 80,000 more IRS agents, to get more money from us so we can afford, which we can't, to house, clothe, feed, and give medical attention to people from all over the world. And again, mostly from countries that hate us. And you guys aren't running around screaming like your hair's on fire in Congress, in the Senate. And in the Senate, you want to negotiate our national security away. Speaking of national security, the head of our military spent 3 days in intensive care, didn't tell anybody, didn't tell the White House, didn't tell the national security apparatus. Instead, his staff said, oh, he's working from home. He was in ICU. Oh, and the number 2 guy, he was on vacation. He wasn't anywhere around. For a good 3 days, there was no one around. There was no one around doing those jobs. Again, this goes right back to this Biden regime, where it was more important to put people in place, according to DEI. They said we have the most diverse and inclusive administration ever. Yes, and the stupidest. I would rather have a not diverse and inclusive administration that had the best people in place. Yes, you can have the best people who are minorities, but picking the minority just so you could say, look, I appointed a black woman to the Supreme Court who can't even define what a woman is. I am so done. This country is ruined. And Joe Biden is a traitor.